Welcome back to WCS America Challenger.
I thought we were going back into game. That's why I was like, already? That was good.
That was the plan, and here we are.
Gosh.
On Yansu, game number 4 between Neeb and Enderr, with Neeb leading 2-1. Down in the bottom left-hand corner is the Terran player. Looked very impressive on Heavy Rain. His name is Neeb Neeb. Neeb Neeb. Look at that. Look at this big muscle. That's the bicep of victory that he flexed around the neck of Enderr on Heavy Rain.
He even used that bicep in game number 2.
Damn straight. Here in the top right-hand corner is Neeb's opponent. He is the Zerg player. His name is Enderr, and he's going to have to defend a Reaper.
Very standard play coming out. Both these players hatch first against the barracks first. Nothing of value will really happen on this here map, Yansu. Should just parry the Reaper pretty easily here and not take any damage.
Not that much space for the Reaper to go up and down, although very easy to annoy drones in the natural. I like to actually rally all of my drones to the main base early on against these Reapers, so I feel like I've got them under control.
I actually like to make all my Zerglings at the natural and only make drones at the main. That way they won't have to do that travel distance.
That's even smarter. I like it.
Yeah.
That sounds #smart. Link speed already on the way here for Enderr, Mr. Caviar. As we see that Neeb is perhaps progressing down a slightly different path this time around. Starport already down. He's got double gas. Perhaps a Banshee play out of our Terran player, who is also getting that command center. It's going to be pretty important that Ender's able to sniff this out, because as we know, Banshees can be very difficult to deal with if they surprise you.
Normally there's like a 6-minute push in with the Overlord. There's some sort of Overlord hanging around the main base. And what it's checking for is, are you staying on 2 bases or are you going up to 3 bases?
Actually, maybe he's already seen it.
Did he? Yeah.
That could have been the building factory. If he wasn't sure before, he's absolutely certain now.
Yep. And that's all indicators.
He's even going to see that
so
tech lab.
unfortunate. Oh, it's going to be a Viking. So this is the Pult build.
Pultu?
Pultu.
Get the Overlords off the map, start dropping like a madman, make lots of Marines and Widow Mines, and just attack all over the place. If anyone was a Neeb doubter after watching that Heavy Rain game, you have to believe that he's capable of the multitasking necessary to pull something like that off. Very fast third base out of Enderr this time. And he has already cleared out those rocks, so he's going to be making for a greedy early game.
Now, if you are Enderr, the response to this, there's a couple of them, but I would say the #1 response would be to go for that Roach Zergling Baneling all in at around 11, 12 minutes. You could just do straight up Roaches. It's because you start your barracks production so late when you're doing a build like this. That is the Terran build. So if you just get your drones roaring, you don't have to worry about a lot of stuff in the early game, and then from there, just get a lot of Roaches, attack. It's hard to stop this Terran.
This Viking has got a long journey. I hope he got enough fuel. Holy smokes.
Jeez.
Where is he going? He's looking...
Oh my god. No,
eventually he'll find this guy.
He'll cross paths one day.
Yep. Meanwhile, Hellions and Reapers making their way around the outskirts of our Zerg base here. Now we see that Enderr did take the bait. He's made Spore Crawlers. There never was a Banshee, guys. That Starport was put down on the tech lab and then immediately swapped after the Overlord was chased away.
Clever stuff.
Yep.
But I like the Spore Crawler at the same time. It's just comprehensive with your defense. Hellions and Reapers just trying to square off.
Ooh, we gotta be careful about playing on this creep. Now, once again, we see Enderr being very committed to dropping lots and lots of creep tumors.
Yes.
There's tumors everywhere. He's all about this early game creep spread. And even foregoing a couple of injections, perhaps, in favor of it. We see him not injecting this hatchery. Although he does have the money. Or not the money, the energy. There we go. Yep. Inject goes down. And
it looks like it's just going to be a very standard play from Enderr. He's not setting up any sort of counterattacks like we saw last game. He's just going for, oh, maybe the surround? Nope, he's not going to get it. Scan goes off into the main base.
Sees only 1 gas.
Really, this is a great scout, though. Sees that the lair is not finished yet. So he's like, oh, well, if your lair's not finished yet, I still have about 2 minutes until I really see your tech. So I shouldn't say 2 minutes. 2 minutes until there's any attack. Maybe a minute until you really are able to see the tech, which would be either Roaches Roach speed. Could be Zerglings Baneling as we saw before, and it could be Mutas.
Hellions continue to be a little bit annoying, roasting a line of Zerglings there. This Viking has been very diligent. He's got 4 Overlord kills, Andre.
And he's still doing the same rally that he was on way before, isn't he?
He sure is. But soon to be complete, I feel, as we have a little bit of multi-pronged aggression on the way here from Neeb. 1 medevac, going to drop a stem, going to pick up some creep tumors. Lings will have very little trouble chasing it away, but quite a bit of trouble getting rid of it, as medevacs are far more mobile than just speedlings.
Good stuff so far coming out from both players, parrying the attack and at the same time commencing that attack's pretty hard, but it looks like the Hellions and the Reapers are going to get cleaned up at the same time. Zerglings, Banelings.
Yep.
Oh. That was unfortunate, Ben.
It was misplayed. And this is also unfortunate.
No.
Queens getting caught out off creep. That's going to be at least 2 dead Queens. Also quite a few dead Zerglings, although at least the drop getting cleaned up. Enderr is immediately going to start counterattacking on the back of that, but man, well, actually, that might be no. Well, we'll see. SCV is going to get pulled off the line. Marines fighting against these Lings are not going to. They're not going to lose that battle, as the Lings are going to continue to stream in and look for openings. 1 siege tank, also not going to go down. So Enderr unable to find openings this time around. Trying to stick with that high aggression Ling style and showing us if there are perhaps a couple of holes in it if the Terran player is resolute in his defenses.
I like this. You might be asking, why get the siege tanks, Ben? You know why?
Because they can get 54 kills.
They can get 54 kills, especially in an area where you cannot attack them over in the top left-hand corner. It's a perfect spot
dirty.
For them.
Yes, this is very dirty. We've seen this in the past. These tanks are able to lay siege to that 3rd base, and this is one of the risks of taking this expansion. Tanks able to shell that mineral line. Look at the range. Just able to basically deny all mining on these 3 patches, and maybe even a little bit of this one.
But most importantly, it allows you to drop like this. If you ever try to contest, what happens? I just pick up. Everything's good. Neeb having a lot of trouble with this incoming attack, and look at this. The 4th base going to be cleaned up pretty soon.
Oh, massive Baneling attack being set up here. And there are not many units at home for the Terran player, so this is an opening that Enderr may be able to exploit.
Oh, God,
Here
no.
we go. Banelings are going to crash right in.
Not on the siege tank.
Yeah, on the siege tank and on the reactor and on the depots and on everything. And we've got Banelings and Zerglings in the main base, so both players are going to be taking heavy damage right now. Units continuing to stream across the map. Only a bunker with a handful of Marines defending this 3rd base. The production line seemingly being overrun right now, but medevacs and Marines, maybe eventually they'll stabilize. Bases have been picked off by our Terran player, but there are Lings everywhere on the Terran side of the map. Lots of SCVs have gone down. Ender's killed 16 SCVs, and the count continues to rise. Reinforcements coming back via medevac to clean this up.
And now Baneling's crashing onto the bunker at the 3rd.
Base could be in trouble. That bunker will go down. And with no bunker there, the SCV lines exposed. 37 SCVs here. If only there were a couple Banelings left over. These SCVs will be pulled, and most of them will be saved. The main base also has been cleaned up. Income tab shows us 41 SCVs to 43 drones. Banelings do not connect. Good hot pickup there by our Terran player, showing off a little bit of great micro. Lings continuing to just run rampant through the mineral lines into the Marines. And it's just a constant race to see who can stabilize first. Our Zerg player trying to shut down the economy of our Terran frantically trying to defend on all fronts. There are units everywhere right now. 3rd base forced to evacuate once again, but it feels like Neeb is getting closer and closer to stability. This Viking, by the way, up to 5 kills.
That's exactly right. 2-2 finish, so it gives him the ability, the upgrade equality to really stop any of these shenanigans. It's Baneling circling off creep. You're not going to be that cost efficient. There it is, the stabilization battle. That's going to end a lot of what Enderr has. What does he have behind this? A lesser supply, 69 supply to 113, no 3rd base, no 4th base, and still those, I believe, 2 siege tanks up in the top left, 3 siege tanks up in the top left-hand corner.
Viking's just on patrol now. He's on a permanent route. Looks like we got one final attack here.
He's retired. All right?
Sightseeing mission. He's got a medic in there with him.
Yeah, Neeb is absolutely safe, even without Widow Mines, which is normally what you need to defend against something like this. Neeb has everything that he needs to defend this.
One final attack from our Zerg player. Can he get himself back in this game? Siege Tank is going to go down, and a lot of SCVs are going to go down. Oh, a lot of SCVs could go down right now, but so many actually going to get saved here. Thor surrounded, Marines falling in rapid succession, but still the SCV count mostly preserved, 40 workers against 43. Enderr has lost so much. He's lost his third base. He's all in on 2 bases and 3 hatcheries, and I just don't see it happening, Andre. He's trying so hard to keep up the onslaught, but...
I like this. Neeb has actually put the clock on Enderr, too, getting 3-3. As soon as 3-3 finishes, there's no way Zergling Baneling can do anything. I would love to see, yes, Marauders being added in. I would also love to see some Widow Mines being added in, but Siege Tanks work out just as well, too. And he has 2 Siege Tanks on the field. Or, excuse me, 5 Siege Tanks on the field? Is that real? I don't know where they are. But that's oh, of course, on the top. So he's about to stabilize. There it is. Again, another Zergling Baneling fail that just can't cut it because Neeb, I mean, man, oh man, a lot of Terrans would just die right there, but he sent all of his units back from the medevacs. He has time, or he has the patience and the dexterity to go back, load up his units real quick, get them over, drop them off, and then save his base. That's incredible to me.
Yeah, this is phenomenal play from our Terran player. And honestly, I think very impressive play from Enderr. I love this high aggression. Unfortunately, it's not the kind of thing that's going to work every single time. And Ender's perhaps stubborn refusal to mix up his play proving costly here, as Neeb has demonstrated an exceptional ability to play defense. The tank count is more than enough to keep any further Zergling attacks at bay. And somehow Neeb's got to find a way, or excuse me, Ender's got to find a way to try and reestablish some economy, but it's just not going to happen. We see still more Lings and Banelings on the production tab.
Yeah.
And as long as tanks are sieged up, there's no chance. And I think it's pretty unlikely that Neeb, who's been showing us that he plays at a very high level, is going to make the mistake of getting caught unsieged.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't see a way. If you look at the 3-3 right now, 70 seconds away from finishing. As soon as that hits, Baneling Zergling off creep can do nothing. Literally nothing. You have to be funneled into a corner with nowhere to go for it to really work.
Yep. Finally, Ender's going to attempt to establish a third base, but it is a tall order, Andre. He's down 70 supply, and Neeb is rolling out. 3-3 is about to finish up. Maybe now a counterattack could make it close, but unfortunately, I just don't see any way of him to deal with this. Man, if only he would get freaking burrow. Like, Neeb is not scanning. That is definitely...
It could be boom, boom, all the Marines die, and then you just come in with...
then just play cleanup. That said, we are going to see the final futile counterattack of Enderr as he comes into the natural. He is going to get a couple of kills here on SCVs, but the writing is on the wall. Good game, well played, and a well-earned victory for Fnatic's Neeb. I have got to tip my hat to this young man for showing us some absolutely exceptional Terran versus Zerg. Playing against, in my opinion, one of the harder Zerg playstyles to cope with. Just flawless. Yeah. Absolutely flawless. Drops one map and then goes on to win 3 in a row.
He reacts to the first map, and then from there just has his opponent's number. Every turn, every counterattack, it felt like Neeb had the capabilities, or he was in position to defend against it. That third game, probably the best scenario, I think, for Enderr to close it out. I mean, so many units were committed to that island in the top left. Still didn't work. Neeb showing exceptional skill. Great Terran player. Great Terran players all today, I would say.
Yeah, I think so. Absolutely agree with you. Means, guys, we're going to move on to our final best of 5 of the day. It's going to be Slam, the Taiwanese Zerg player of the Yowie Flash Wolves, up against Revival, well-known Korean Zerg powerhouse. Don't go anywhere. WCS America's final best of 5 kicks off when we get back.